Sup, you beautiful bastards. Hope you've had a fantastic Wednesday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing I want to talk about today is the crazy story around the Michigan 5 and the death of Kenneth White. Ken was a 32-year-old construction worker. He was riding shotgun in a van on I-75 when seemingly out of nowhere, a 6-pound rock smashed through the windshield, hit him in the chest and head, and soon after, Ken was pronounced dead at the hospital. So what happened? Well, according to police, the Michigan 5, 17-year-old Kyle Anger, 16-year-old Mark Sikelski, 16-year-old Mickadine Payne, 15-year-old Trevor Gray, and 15-year-old Alexander Miller went to two separate overpasses that night and threw things down at the oncoming cars. Police saying that the group threw a tire, 20 rocks, one weighing as much as 20 pounds. In addition to Ken being killed by one of those rocks, several other vehicles were damaged. Police say after throwing the rock that ended up killing White, the teens left the overpass and went to a McDonald's to eat. Now, where we are today is that this group has been arrested, and individually they've been charged with second-degree murder, conspiracy to commit second-degree murder, and malicious destruction of property. And so ultimately what that means is all of them are facing a possibility of life in prison. We also received the news today that the judge denied bail for everyone charged here. And personally, I say good. These 5 should be punished. While I understand why they're not charging first-degree murder, that it doesn't appear that there was premeditation to kill, it does 100% appear that they had the intent to harm. According to police, it appears that the Michigan 5 took rocks from another location and then brought them to the overpass, one of which, as previously mentioned, was 20 pounds. And keep in mind, these are being dropped or thrown from a height at vehicles most likely going around 75 miles per hour. And understand, I'm saying this from my point of view where there is no win here. A man's life was taken in a situation that cannot be deemed an accident. Accident is not the proper word for purposefully dropping a 20-pound rock from an overpass onto oncoming vehicles. To me, there's no way there wasn't an understanding that this could do massive damage. And I get no joy from the potential harsh punishment, but I think that there is a need for an incredibly harsh punishment here. I think an example needs to be made out of the people responsible. They need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. It's for a statement to be made. And that statement is if you were going to do something that could potentially ruin someone's life, your life could be ruined as well. Actions have consequences, and the actions of these 5 took away a life. But of course, I do want to pass the question off to you. What do you think is the proper punishment here? Are you thinking along the lines of a life in prison, or are you thinking a lesser sentence? How much of a factor is their age to you? Anything and everything. I'd love to know what you're thinking on this story. Then let's talk about our douchebag of the day, 30-year-old Carlos D'Angelo Bell. And you may be wondering, Phil, how can this guy be our douchebag of the day? You just talked about the Michigan 5. Well, because Carlos, who is a now former Maryland school aide, a former track coach, is accused of sexually assaulting several male students while he was HIV positive. Also, when I say several, he is accused of assaulting 42 juveniles. According to the state attorney's office, the ages of the alleged victims at the time the offenses were committed ranged from 11 years old to 17 years old. And while Bell, who is once again HIV positive, allegedly sexually assaulted the students, he was not wearing protection. Additionally, when police searched his home electronics, they found child porn. And as of right now, the charges against Bell include 22 counts of sexual abuse of a minor, 19 counts of second-degree sex offenses, 7 counts of third-degree sex offenses, and 97 counts of child pornography. And the state attorney's office said if they do get the conviction, they are going to seek life in prison. That said, if Maryland does have a change of heart and they feel like maybe, I don't know, we go with my opinion on what you do with these kind of people, you throw them into a fire, I would be more than happy to clear my schedule. Which actually, side note, I addressed this on Twitter, but I also want to mention this in a video. Someone the other day was messaging me on all these things that I need to change about my show. One of the things they wrote was, again, dropping F-bombs and suggesting people be lit on fire are significant behaviors that will keep you from gaining new support. And so I'll repeat and add on to what I tweeted back because I want even the people in the back row to hear. 1, child molesters, people guilty of what Bell is accused of here, I believe deserve to be lit on fire. And 2, I don't care if sharing my unreserved opinions and not keeping it PC prevents growth. I have passionate feelings about varying topics, and I'm going to share those opinions with you. If that's going to push people away or keep others from joining, then sorry. I mean, just kind of think about it. Why would I rein myself in, not be the real me, and all of a sudden the real me one day slips out? And then I do what all these other people that are trying to keep it PG for the money do, apologize for letting your real self slip out? I'm passionate about many things, and one of those things that has been brought up recently, very unfortunately because of news stories, has been about the punishment of predators to children, people that abuse children. And I will share those, especially because there's like this small little creeping movement of people that are trying to make it seem less weird. But of course, like with everything I talk about, I love to know your opinion on this story. But with all that said, let's jump to a happier segment, and that is Today in Awesome, brought to you by ShopDeFranco.com. We've just decided to put up all those designs that you've wanted, that we've been doing runs of, all up in one store. Sports, my mom thinks I'm advertiser friendly. Don't mind me, I'm just catching invisible monsters. DeFranco 2024, don't be stupid. Let's make mistakes together. Pretentious, beautiful bastard, the DeFranco. My personal favorite, boys will be boys, but girls can also be boys if they want. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone. I mean, also gender identity can be a little bit fluid. I mean, I'm just not going to sell this shirt. So if you want to snag one of those on a comfy shirt, a hoodie, some of them even have pillows, go to ShopDeFranco.com. And the first bit of awesome is this fantastic video from Mark Rober. It's called Carnival Scam Science and How to Win. And it's this fantastic breakdown of the behind the scenes of a lot of your favorite carnival games. The stats, what's impossible, what's actually skill-based. It's really, really well done, and I highly recommend it. Then, if you're pumped for season 2 of Stranger Things, but there are some things you don't fully remember, we got a video from NTN on everything you need to know before Stranger Things season 2. Then we got a brand new Meet Arnold about, if you've watched the show for a while, you know my favorite topic, black holes. You know, it wasn't until I just finished saying that sentence that I realized that if you were listening to this as a podcast without the graphic, that just sounded really weird. Anyway, it's a good video. Then the only makeup channel here on YouTube that I care about, Glam and Gore, came out with a new video with a Jigsaw Halloween makeup tutorial. Then we got a trailer for a new Netflix series called Godless. That looks really good. We also got a trailer for Winchester, the house that Ghost built. That looks pretty great. I'm always down for a scary movie, which actually, by the way, Creep 2 just came out on iTunes and other places where you can buy video on demand. If you like the first one, I think you're really gonna like the second one. I thought it might be repetitive. They do a fantastic job. Also, if you haven't seen Creep yet, I highly recommend that, obviously. I'm a big fan of POV found footage films, and it is a great one. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. And then let's talk about why actress Heather Lind is in the news, and that is because she has accused George H.W. Bush of sexual assault. In a now deleted Instagram post from Tuesday, Lind said that she had posed with Bush during a photo op in 2014 in Houston. This for a screening of her AMC show, Turn Washington Spies. The post read, "I was disturbed today by a photo I saw of President Barack Obama shaking hands with George H.W. Bush in a gathering of ex-presidents organizing aid to states and territories damaged by recent hurricanes. I found it disturbing because I recognize the respect ex-presidents are given for having served, and I feel pride and reverence toward many of the men in the photo. But when I got the chance to meet George H.W. Bush 4 years ago to promote a historical television show I was working on, he sexually assaulted me while I was posing for a similar photo. He didn't shake my hand. He touched me from behind from his wheelchair with his wife Barbara Bush by his side. He told me a dirty joke. And then, all the while being photographed, touched me again. Barbara rolled her eyes as if to say, not again. His security guard told me I shouldn't have stood next to him for the photo. There were also others who spoke up and backed her account. Craig Silverstein, the executive producer / showrunner for Turn Writing. I was there, probably 10 feet away. I remember watching your eyes bulge in shock. The camera's snapping away. We all learned what happened about 5 minutes later and were shocked. I remember seeing you in the alcove of the theater doors trying to collect yourself afterwards. I think it's incredibly brave of you to share this. Joel Stillerman, Hulu's chief content officer, writing, as you know, Heather, I was there. It was a terrible moment for you, but you were strong then and you were strong now. In the wake of all the recent news, everyone who has been proximate to an incident like this has had to contemplate whether their response was appropriate. I'm sorry you had to live through that, and I hope the groundswell of awareness around this issue makes it harder for perpetrators to act like this and easier for victims and bystanders to call it out when it occurs. Stay strong. So that's what we heard from her side. Then the obvious question became, what does Bush have to say for himself? And we found out from Jim McGrath, a Bush spokesman who issued the statement, President Bush would never, under any circumstance, intentionally cause anyone distress, and he most sincerely apologizes if his attempt at humor offended Miss Lind. And so that's where we are right now, and I'm left with a few questions. First up for me would be, why did Heather Lind delete this post? It's also unclear when she deleted this post, so did she second guess this move? She tried to remove it, but by then the news had caught wind of it? Or did she remove it because once it was in the news cycle, it was mission accomplished, we don't need that post anymore? Is it for some other reason? As of right now, we don't know. Also, does deleting the post kind of undermine what she was trying to do here? Does it undermine part of the hashtag #MeToo movement? I've seen some people arguing that. Then too, when I looked at that Bush apology, it's unclear to me what exactly he is apologizing for. The statement reads, he most sincerely apologizes if his attempt at humor offended. So is he apologizing just for the dirty joke that Lind mentioned? Or was he saying the butt grab was part of the joke and so he's sorry that his sexual assaulty joke was offensive? Like I said, that's where we are right now, and I would love to know your thoughts around this. And then let's talk about Amazon Key. Amazon just announced this new service today for Prime members. To be a part of this new program, you need to buy an Amazon Cloud Cam. That's their $120 internet-connected security camera. And along with that, you'll need to buy a smart lock. They even have combined camera lock packages that start at $250. And so the idea behind Amazon Key is is you install that smart lock, you install the Amazon Cloud camera outside your door, and then when your order from Amazon is delivered to your house, your door will open so that the delivery person can leave your package inside. And I have to say, personally, that's gonna be a no from me. And I understand why some people are excited by this, but for me, this seems like convenience over security. I don't want some person I've never met before having the ability to open the front door of my home. And I'm not even saying that person steals something there. In my head, my cynical brain, I'm like, that person's gonna case my house, see if you have an alarm, have expensive stuff. That said, I am very excited about all the stories I'm gonna get to cover of all the home pets that get to have brand new interactions with people they don't know opening the front door. And I don't just mean, that cliche of an animal attacking the mail carrier. There is no way that a cat or a dog or two doesn't escape and run away. Hey Alexa, find my dog. Also, good luck to everyone that sets an alarm when they leave their house. I wonder how many false alarms we're going to see triggered. I'm sure the police are gonna love all the false calls they get. Or I guess if you have an alarm system, you just don't have the alarm on. But hey, that's my mindset on this. Maybe I'm just a paranoid cynic. Maybe you love this, you're going for it. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. And that's actually where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I try and do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed yesterday's Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to see today's brand new behind the scenes vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.